crown. I promised you guys 2 to 3 videos. Here's number 2, and today, guys, we're going to be talking about a hot topic that everybody keeps asking about, and that is runes. Now, a lot of you guys are going to be new to the game, probably jumping on a new server, so I want to explain what a rune is, what kinds there are, what you want to aim for long term, and what you can upgrade, and which ones are going to fit best on which characters. Okay, so first off, when you start this game, you're not going to have access to runes. Okay, runes are going to be something that is going to happen later on in the game. I think you hit them maybe around level 60, maybe, I don't really recall, it's been so long. But when you do unlock it, guys, you're going to have a middle tab here that unlocks. You have 2 talismans on the side and 1 rune here. And runes are extremely powerful. They provide you with a lot of special effects, incredible buffs to your stats, as well as waste upgrade in end game content, which I want to show you guys. And so there are various kinds of runes in this game that you can get. So first I want to show you guys, how do you get runes and where are the best places to acquire them. So when you go to the Trading Emporium, you're going to have a section here that's called a Mythic shop right here. When you unlock Mythic quests, you're going to be able to get yourself runes of prayer, runes of piercing, etc, 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 right? So for players who are brand new, these are going to be extremely appealing because in the beginning they're really hard to acquire, right? Because runes are going to be someplace that you're going to be spending most of your time hunting in the voyage expeditions. That's the boat expedition that you see, that you travel and you get X amount of points, right? You should be saving up everything for those, especially if you're going to be tackling end game to mid game content. Now, a lot of you are going to be going for the selection cards. There's nothing wrong with that. Ascending your character is way more important, in my opinion, in the beginning of the game, so you can get yourself massive CP from that. CP equals combat power. But runes are going to be something that you want to still work towards, because the ones that are going to matter come from that place. Unless you're spending money, then there are other ways to get them. But ideally, save all your voyage expeditions for those runes. Now, these purple ones are no slouches themselves. They offer quite a bit of appealing things for your character, right? So for example, the Providence rune, after entering battle, applies 15% damage reduction to the hero, which lasts for 2 rounds, which is a great rune for a brand new tank, right? Your tanks want to have as much damage reduction as possible, or your healers, but there are ones for healers. This is strictly created for tanks, and it is for 2 rounds. Now, as you can tell here, I'm going to show you the differences between a purple, an orange, and the mythic one. So the epics, the legendaries, and the mythics. Okay, so as you can see here, there are different kinds, and you can apply these ones to different characters. At the start of the turn, the second round inflicts 45% of the attack and damage to 2 random enemies. The CD has a cooldown of 2 rounds, so every 2 rounds you can do, sorry, every 4 rounds after this one, you can do additional 45% of attack. So you obviously want this to be on your high attacker. You check their stats. Whoever's your highest attacker, you put this on them. They'll do two units randomly will get inflicted by 45% of their attack power. Rune of Souls, same idea, except this one actually attacks enemies with the lowest HP, has CD of 2 rounds. Same scenario, every 4 rounds, you get this after the first 2 rounds, and then this one will do with the most targets, roll with the most targets. So you can see here, the damage is very similar throughout the whole thing, but where they attack, who they attack differs, okay? Once you start getting into mid to end game content, guys, the purple ones are no longer appealing. So the epic ones no longer are really going to matter to you anymore. What's going to matter more here is you're going to start wanting to hunt the Sartan's essence and the Belial's essence, okay? And then at the end game, once you're done getting these out of the way, you're going to start doing soul seals, and I'm going to explain to you guys what each of them are, okay? So we've looked at the purple ones. We're going to jump over to the voyage expedition, guys, and we're going to look at some of the legendary ones, okay? And I'm going to explain to you guys the difference, and then we're going to talk about the mythic ones and why you want to save everything you can for the mythic, and what a mythic one looks like when it's completely maxed out. All right, we're going to look at all that. So first off, let's go into the shop. As you can see here, the Sartan and the Belial runes are 1,200 each. Very, very important to hunt for these ones, okay? Again, mid to end game content, you want to be going for these, and then eventually you want to start going for these things to boost up as fast as you can to max these out. But for a little while, some of you gonna want to go half the price and get yourself the legendary kind. Now, legendary kinds are similar to the purple ones, the epic ones, but they offer you something different, right? They give you a passive. So they do give you a higher percentage of attack. They give you better overall damage and buffs, But the key here, guys, is you get a passive that gives you an increase to either your attack, your HP, your defense, etc. Right? So if you look at this one, for example, Divine Protection, this is similar to Providence, right? It does give you the 15% damage reduction to the hero, which lasts for 2 rounds, exactly the same. But it also applies a sustained heal for 20% of attack, which lasts for 3 rounds. So you get an extra effect, and on top of that, you increase your HP by 5%. So that is extremely appealing. Mid-game content, this is going to take you pretty far, all right? And then same thing with this one. As you can see, there's a lot less of these, right? Rune of Souls will give you 60% of attack to 2 enemies rather than, I think it was 45%, so it's a 15% increase. And then also applies a chance to do reduce heal, and the passive is attack by 5%. So this would be on a damage dealer, right? So if we go further here, there's Rune of Rending, which is 60%, and also applies damage to 2 random heroes in the back, and does a bleed. Now this is great for a character like Rose or Endless Storm, because when they apply bleed to somebody, their ultimate doesn't execute, at least for Endless Storm, right? So that would be great for a hero like that. So the extra bleed would be added on to the damage that they would cause, and again, attack by 5%, right? So it's an incredible. These are incredible for mid-game content. After the second round, inflicts damage equal to 50% of self-attack to all enemies in the back row, with a 25% chance to apply slow, which is pertinent for PvP, guys, because everyone focuses on speed in PvP. So if you can slow your opponent and you can get the upper hand of attacking first, your chances of winning increases, okay? And then lastly, you have the Secret's Embrace, which actually does attack to 3 enemies with the lowest HP and offers a heal reduction and attack by 5%. As you can see here, there really isn't much choice for healers. They're more for tanks and DPS, okay? And then of course you have the option for the seals. Again, the seals you don't want to touch right now. This is like far into end game, all right? End game for us, that is, not for CN, for example, okay? All right, so we covered legendary. Now, I'm going to give you this advice, and take it if you want it, don't take it if you don't. It's completely up to you. It depends where you are in the game and how your mindset is. Me personally, at 600 cost, I would keep saving until I can get one of the mythics, right? And when I go through the mythics, I'm going to explain to you why they're so important and why they're so much better, and like why your focus should be on them, all right? So you have 2 different types. You have a Saratan and you have a Belial. So Saratan gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the seals, and then this one gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and the seals. Now watch the difference between them, okay? So I'm going to click on the first one. So absolute 0. After the first round, not the second, so the first round, so you're already instantly losing a round off of that. That's great. Inflict 60% of damage to 3 random enemies with a 16% chance to freeze. The skill has a 2-round cooldown. So after the 3rd round, you'll be able to do it again. Now this here, this rune specifically has taken me so far in the game in terms of places like Dragon Tower or Dragon Spire and PvP. It's an amazing rune, and it beats anything out there that the legendary runes can offer. Not only does it increase your attack by 5%, but now, guys, all the attacks have a 40% chance to add 10% damage boost to the target. Okay, this is target. It means target. Okay, so. I don't know if you guys are watching this from Heroes of Crown devs, you don't want to change that, but look at that, you have a second passive now, and on top of that, you now have a CC, all right? Now there are many of these. As you can see here, there's going to be another one here that does the damage reduction, but not only does it do damage reduction by 20% now, but it also does CC immunity at 50%, so that means you can't be frozen, stunned, etc. for 50% more. You increase HP by 5%, and after getting attacked, there's a 12% chance to restore 5% of your max HP. This here is the ultimate rune for the panda, right? So Dawn, the Master Dragon. So amazing rune for him, because if he doesn't get CC'd, he can do intervene. If he gets hit during his intervenes, he can restore HP, plus it increases HP 5%. So that is an absolute key rune for him, all right? Jumping on to the next one. You can see here now, we have this one which provides weaken, 5% attack, and then after entering combat, adds 10% damage reduction on an enemy with the highest attack, meaning they'll hit for less. So this is a great way to control damage coming in, and good on a debuffer like Lilith, right? And then you have this one here, which provides you a hot as well as a shield, right? Which is amazing for a healer. We didn't have a healer one in the legendary set, but this one actually provides you a healer one. So this is what you want to put on a healer. And then lastly, you have another DPS one here, which does more attack power, provides 50% chance to apply 50% heal reduction, and then gives you attack, and then also provides you armor shred. So that's the Sartan one. Now the Belial ones are similar, but they have different effects. So for example, this one does Divine Punishment, which they cannot be buffed, increases your rage skill and the chance to dispel a buff from the target. This one here, for example, does Emergency Heal, which gives you more healing effects. If you hit a certain point of HP, increases your HP. So it depends on what you want to do, right? The key to this, guys, before I go through all of these, which I'm not going to do, the reason why you want to save your Mythic is not only because of the 2 passives and the extra bonuses and the power that it provides, but you can actually upgrade them. Okay, now what does an upgrade look like and what does that mean for you? So remember those soul seals I was talking about and those Sartan essences and the Belial essences? So here, now let's show you guys a maxed down one. Look at the difference here. You add an extra passive when you max it out, all right? And then you unlock something called Earth Seal. All right, after you completely max it out, you can unseal it, and then you start using your Earth Seals to increase your stats. And you can lock stats and you can increase stats. So watch this. I'm going to use this for fun, and I'll show you what it looks like. So there you go. So this one gives me healing effect at 9%, CC resistance at 12%, and received healing, and it tells you what the rating is. So this is a lower rating, so I'm not going to keep this one. I'm going to go ahead and unseal again. Crit damage resistance, AoE damage increase, and damage increase. Like this would be really good for Morian if it was at a higher percent, but clearly look at these percentages up here. We're not going to bother with that one, and then you run out of seals. But that's what the seals do. How do you upgrade these, right? I'm going to show you one right now that I have. I've saved one specifically for this video that we can upgrade. Okay, so here we go. I have Belial's, actually I don't know if I can, yeah I can, there we go. So Belial's Lament, I've got 2 of the essences saved up. If you increase this, it takes the damage from 10% to 15% for 3 rounds after killing an enemy. So I'm going to go ahead and advance this. Now watch what happens. Advance successful. Now the next passive, you see how I got a little orb? You got 5 of these to fill out. So it takes quite a few, and these increase every time, right? So the next one is increase attack from 5% to 10%, which is a pretty drastic change in attack power. So once you get 3 of these, you move on to the next one. I believe it goes 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 5. And then you max it out. Then you get the extra bonus passive, and then you get the unseal option. All right, as you can tell, it is extremely powerful, guys. So you don't want to miss out on saving for these runes. If you keep going for legendary ones, you're doing yourself a disservice. Be patient and save. Currently, there are no other methods of getting these mythic ones. So right now, with the way the game is, this is your only option. There may be something in the future that will make it easier for us to acquire it, but right now, the boat is the best place. So, all in all, what you should be saving for in the voyages should be your cards. If you're going to be ascending, that should be your priority. Ascend your heroes, of course. And then lastly, guys, it should be saving for these and the treasures. Now, I'm going to talk about treasures and exclusive weapons in a different video. There'll be 2 separate videos, but I wanted to go through this to show you guys how much more powerful a mythic rune is versus a legendary versus a epic. Okay, look at the difference. I'm going to leave this on here on the screen for you guys so you guys can scour this, take a look, but compare it to what you have now, and you guys will be like, holy, what a massive change in power this would give me, and how much further I advance in the game by having this in my inventory or one on one of my characters. All right, so there you guys have it. There's runes. Hope it helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, hit it up in the comment section. Let me know. Join the Discord, the main Discord, of course, for the game. Tons of players there talking about the game, and all my videos on there as well too. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like the video, and let me know what you guys think. Have a wonderful day, guys. This is Payne. Take care.